There is no economic case that's been assessed by any level of government that the Kinder Morgan project is in Canada's national interest. There is absolutely no question that having a 7-fold increase in Aframax tankers through the Salish Sea, as you've heard from Ross, even without accident, will lead to the extinction of our southern resident killer whale population, which violates federal environmental law. There's no question at all that if and when there is a spill, we won't know how to clean it up. That may be my favorite part of all of the propaganda about being ready for the pipeline, is this notion of our world-class response. Well, by the way, the Western Canada Resource Corporation that runs the oil spill response, the cleanup vessels, that corporation is majority owned by Kinder Morgan. And they will rush to the scene. Let's assume they figure out how to rush to the scene. They certainly couldn't figure it out when it was in English Bay and within reach. But let's say they rush to the scene. What are they going to do? There is no known technology to clean up bitumen mixed with diluent. I sometimes like to imagine that perhaps if they rush to the scene and they really care about the mess they see, that human tears will have some impact. But honest to how on earth can people stand up and say such hooey as we have a world-class spill response system when the best and most reliable, objective, scientific information in Canada is that we have no idea how to clean up a spill if it's bitumen mixed with diluent. Not anywhere along the freshwater routes within BC's interior, and not in the Salish Sea. We don't have any idea how to clean up bitumen mixed with diluent. We also know from all the evidence that anyone has seen that it's not a matter of if there's a spill, but when. And that the coastline and the turns and the moving, I mean, look at the map and look at southern Gulf Islands that I represent in Saanich Gulf Islands, that represents a high degree of hazard for spills. But here's the ways we can stop it. Already, the city of Vancouver is in court with the kinds of arguments based on some of what I've told you about of the lack of procedural fairness before the National Energy Board. These violate well-trod paths of legal analysis with tons of jurisprudence. You can't treat interveners the way we were treated. You can't say there's no time for cross-examination. You can't push through things the way they push them through. In addition to Burnaby and Vancouver being in court, so too are the Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, and Squamish First Nations. So too is Raincoast. There are a lot of court cases coming, and any one of them could stop the project. On top of that, we're in an election campaign, and if the BC government can be persuaded, which certainly Christy Clark violated her commitment because she and Mary Polak, the Minister of Environment, set out conditions before they would accept Kinder Morgan, and suddenly all the conditions disappeared. And I have a theory for how that happened, but I won't belabor. If you want to know in questions, that's fine. But the more we make Kinder Morgan a BC election issue, and I'm not going to be partisan about this, clearly Andrew Weaver, leader of the BC Green Party, is clearly opposed to allowing Kinder Morgan to go ahead, and John Horgan for the BC NDP says the same, opposed to Kinder Morgan going ahead. And the BC provincial government does have jurisdictional tools that can be used to stop the pipeline from proceeding.